I am recording this on my way home from getting some really emotional news about my best friend. She has battled cancer on and off for just trying to do the math now, 10 to 15 years. Over the last 6 years since COVID. Just thinking about it, it's making me really emotional, but since COVID, at least a couple times, if not 3, I think, it's come back in different places. She's in her 50s, mid-50s, and since she was 36, well, there you go, that's what, 18 years, 17 years, she's been dealing with cancer. And when she first got cancer, when she was 36, and she had a very small child, a 3-year-old, it sort of came out of nowhere, right? I mean, who gets breast cancer at 36? And then she didn't have cancer again for 12 years, I think. And then again in the last sort of 6 years, it's just been recurring. And yeah, it's scary. It's scary, I'm sure, most of all for her. So yeah, just trying to process what it means. Try not to hit the panic button. And trying to remember there's a lot of other people in the world that are dealing with cancer, that will deal with cancer, and that will get through it. She's really strong. Right now she's really positive, which I think makes a big difference. I think, mindset is a big thing. Obviously I haven't experienced this, but through what I've seen her experience, I think mindset has a lot to do with just dealing with the diagnosis and getting through the treatment. I think part of what makes it so emotional is seeing her have to go through, surgery and chemo, and in some cases radiation, the impact that it has on her life, physically, emotionally, financially. She had her own business, and as she's just been repeatedly kind of dealing with health issues, it's just made it impossible to try and keep a business, to work, to really do anything other than trying to be well. Just so many thoughts going through my mind right now, like, why her? Why has it happened again? Is this gonna be her experience? Is she ever gonna get past this moment where she's not dealing with this? How to support? I think as her friend, just knowing, how do I support her? How do I help her? What can I do? Is there anything I can do? And a big thing that we've talked about is that she says has helped her is just being able to kind of talk about it, and to have someone who can hold space for all the emotions that can come with this type of diagnosis, fear, anger, resentment, sadness, there's a grief. She talked about that today, actually, of just, kind of be feeling sad. All of it, really, it all kind of comes, I mean, what I've seen her experience is a little bit of all of that, right? It's all valid, it's all fair. And yeah, being a friend or a partner, family member, what have you, and trying to support someone through a cancer diagnosis can be tricky. It can be confusing, you know. I've seen a whole mixture of how people respond, and I don't necessarily know what the right answer is, but I think most importantly, trying to talk about it with them, or letting them know that it's okay to talk about it, that it's okay for them to share how they're feeling, and just being a safe space for whatever they are processing that day. And it's a roller coaster from day to day, you know. Like anything, any kind of diagnosis or you know, it's a loss of health for that period, and with any loss there's a whole kind of spectrum of emotions. Fear certainly. So yeah, I haven't cracked the code on the best way to support someone through a diagnosis or treatment, but one thing I have learned from my friend is that, again, just being able to talk about it, being able to kind of handle their emotion around it is a huge help, or at least it's been for her. But everybody's different, so there's no, at least what I've learned is there's no sort of right way to support. There's no one answer. There's no one thing, you know, every person needs that's the same. I'm just gonna roll up my window because there's a dog barking outside. It's just about having the conversation and trying to be as authentic as possible, and to let them feel as authentic as possible, and to let them process, you know, what they're going through, and just letting that be okay, you know. As I said, my friend has certainly said that that's helped her, just being able to be honest about it, just being able to get it out, what she's feeling, you know. And even when those feelings are scary or uncomfortable or heavy, you know, we have definitely had some heavy conversations. You know, we've talked about dying. We've talked about contingency plans. When she first got her cancer diagnosis, as I said, she had a 3-year-old child. She was a single parent, and she was forced to kind of think about a whole spectrum of things that could happen. It was a stage 3 diagnosis, and so, you know, she had to think about some really difficult, uncomfortable things. I think, you know, in talking to her today, this now her 5th diagnosis of cancer, and I think her 3rd in the last 6 years in different areas of her body, is that mindset and perspective are a big part of processing this. And sorry, the emotions just keep coming up, thinking about what she's possibly now going to go through. She doesn't yet have the prognosis for treatment. She's only had the diagnosis that there's been tumors that they've found. But yeah, perspective and mindset is a big part of dealing with, I think, probably anything in life, you know, health diagnosis, whatever stage that is, whatever that looks like, is trying to keep a perspective on it that you choose. I mean, my first instinct is to react, right? Is to react, to hit the panic button or the fear button. And that's probably what a lot of people do initially, including the people who are actually dealing with the diagnosis versus those of us that are on the sidelines. And that's really human, right? Is to want to kind of react in the moment. I think sort of what I've learned, and what I still try to choose in the moment, including in situations like this, is a perspective, right? I believe, as an example, that she's going to get through this. Neither of us have total certainty of that, but we believe that she's going to get through it. So that's a perspective of like, okay, hopefully this isn't going to be terminal. And yes, there's going to be some things that she has to go through in dealing with this health issue, this health challenge. But she will get through it. And so that's a win. That's positive. You know, another perspective is there's lots of things that we as humans have to deal with in life, things that come up. They're not all health issues. Not everybody deals with health issues. We all deal with challenges, but they come in different forms. This is a challenge she's facing. And so trying to shift the perspective from the problem to the blessings is really important, right? You know, so one of the things that she shared today is, I'm feeling really good today. Today I'm feeling really great. I had a great day yesterday, and that's great, right? We don't always get great feeling days. There's a lot of people in life that don't get that. And today she's feeling good. Today is the day that she's feeling good, and she has good health today. And so, yeah, I'm rambling a little bit. I'm raw, I'm in the moment. I'm just sharing this right off the cuff. I pulled over on the side of the road as I was driving because I just felt like I needed a moment to, just kind of digest and kind of talk about what's happened, knowing that I'm sure there's other people, many, many other people in the world who are not only dealing with someone they love who's got this diagnosis or who has this diagnosis, but people who are having to deal with the diagnosis themselves. Which I remind myself, well, I'm not firsthand dealing with it. I'm on the sidelines, so you know that's a blessing in itself. But yeah, I think just trying to feel what you're feeling, let it flow through you, let it process, trying to stay positive, right? It's a beautiful day outside. As an example, it's a beautiful day, right? Beautiful day that we're blessed with. We're alive. And that in itself sometimes has to be enough. Staying in the present, I think, with your perspective and with your mindset is also, I'm just going to take a deep breath, is also really helpful, right? I can say for myself, if I think too far into the future in a moment like this, it's just not helpful, right? Because the future isn't in your control. The control that we all have is in this exact moment right now. And in choosing what we think, choosing how we want to show up for people that we love, choosing how we want to process what's happening, choosing how we want to respond to the moment that's before us. And staying grounded in the now, I can say for myself, really helps, because projecting into the future, trying to anticipate, well, what's going to happen, what's going to be the treatment prognosis, is this going to be the last time she gets cancer? None of that's in my control. None of that's in her control. We don't know any of that stuff. So none of that is going to alleviate stress or fear or sadness or worry right now. None of that is going to inform or support the current moment or how we deal with the current moment. The only thing that's going to support you in the current moment is staying in the current moment and acknowledging what's in the current moment. Yep, okay, this has happened. This is something that my friend's dealing with, that I want to support her with in the best way I can. I don't always have all the answers of how best to do that. And when I don't have the answer, I'm going to ask her, hey, how can I support you? It's one of the things I said to her on the phone is, I'm so sorry this has happened. How can I support you? What can I do? And just creating that doorway that I want to help, that I care, that I have empathy for what she's going through, even though I don't know firsthand what she's going through or how it feels, or what that emotional roller coaster is like. But I can support her, and I can be a safe place to talk about what she's feeling, and I can be a sounding board, and I can be an ear. I can be a shoulder to cry on, and I can also be a source of laughter and release and talking about other things, because that's the other thing I've learned is, in the case of my friend, I can't say that how my friend feels is the same as everyone else feels who's dealing with cancer, but I can say, what my friend has said is that she doesn't necessarily want to talk about cancer all the time, right? Sometimes she wants to talk about and think about other things. One of the things she said to me was, because it's going to be a few days until she gets the prognosis from the doctor in terms of what the treatment looks like, treatment options are. And she said, I don't really want to think about it until Thursday. Today's Sunday. Okay, I get that. I get that. She doesn't want to live 4 days from now, live in the moment of what's going to happen 4 days from now. She wants to stay in this moment and enjoy this moment, which is, I feel good, it's a beautiful day outside, the sun is shining, and I'm alive. And I think that's a really smart thing. And I've certainly learned from her that choosing your perspective, choosing your mindset, staying in the now, and staying grateful for what you do have, however small. And a sunny day is not necessarily a small thing to be grateful for, right? There's so many wonderful things that come from a sunny day. But staying rooted in the things that we have to be grateful for is one of the most powerful tools, no matter what we're facing. So, a bit of a ramble, sorry, and a bit of a kind of emotional roller coaster. But for anyone out there that is dealing with any diagnosis, cancer or otherwise, or that is trying to support someone they love that's going through that, I feel you. You're not alone. There's many other people that are dealing with this, so you're not alone. And just focus on the blessings. Focus on the blessings.